Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. Happy New Year's Eve! Yay! We made it! So today is Tuesday and I'm going to be starting something new. What? I was going to wait until officially it was 2025, but why put it off one more day? Or essentially one more week. Let's get going. But before we talk about that, although you'll probably know from the title, let's look at my Dragon Horde 12 Days of Christmas Advent Calendar. This is the gauntlet. I realized that yesterday I uploaded a Yarn Management Monday and I totally forgot to film the opening and attach it to it. So we're going to open yesterday's and today's. I thought about doing a little video and slapping it up, but we can just look at it now, can't we? So, this was yesterday's yarn. And of course this is Fourth Wing themed, so the Empyrean series. Oh, this is gorgeous, but there's no way you're going to see it. This is called The Gauntlet. It is black, browns, and purples, and it is, I'm going to do my best to show it, but hide my face. Focus on the yarn. Focus. Okay, I think it's actually focusing. There you go. There's some purple. I think you can see some brown. There we go. I'll try to turn it around. See, nope, not my face, the yarn. Focus. There! Oh, look. See, I start laughing and then the camera starts behaving. So here, this was yesterday's and today we get... Oh, I ripped it. Oh, it's very, very similar. The Veil. So this is very similar to Gauntlet, except it has more brown in it. So not quite as much black. Yes. Okay. Again, let's do our best. There you go. I think you can see it. I think it's coming through. I have found that... So I joke about fixing things in post-production. I have found if I slightly adjust my gamma in my editing software, somehow it shows the yarn better. So I'll play with that and see if that helps. But what are we doing? I don't know what my computer's doing. We are joining Miss Shannon from Another Yarn on one of her 2025 adventures. It is Tackle It Tuesday! What? So her idea is... on Tuesday, she's gonna look at her WIPS and start tackling. So, that's what we're gonna do. I have 3 bins of WIPS, and then I have 2 large projects that I have collected all of the yarn for that don't fit into the WIP bins. I guess, well, technically 3 if I count this. This is the yarn Brian got me from Arcane Fiberworks. I have not yet stuck it in a bag. I guess I will include that with it. Oh, what do we do with the kids' hats for Christmas? I'm just going to make those. Those aren't going to be like WIPs or anything. Those are separate. Okay. A couple of decisions made. So anyway, I have one. It's a 20-gallon Rubbermaid tote. And one is sitting in our master bedroom, and that contains what I used to lovingly call WIP Islands. And I didn't really talk about it much, but I had a bunch of, some were started projects, and some were yarn that I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it, so I shoved it in a bag. Siri tried to start talking to us. So I shoved it in a bag and set it to the side here next to me, and it was like a mountain. So then I kind of started joking that I actually had an archipelago. But, so the stuff that was here, I have fit into 2 Rubbermaid 20-gallon tubs, and they are stowed away. What we're going to do first is tackle WIP Island. I guess none of this actually includes, there are some WIPs on the table behind you that I need to clean up and organize because I really need to get back to the tutorials and the yarn reviews. I've got so much of that stacked up that I was unable to do for my own organizational issues. But this is all going to help. 2025 is going to be the year we tackle this. We're tackling yarn management and the WIPs. So anyway, I have decided we are going to tackle the tote in the master bedroom first because I want to clear that out. That is our bedroom. That should not be a crafting area. Like, to me, it's okay that I have a project or two in there to work on. You know, Brian might be playing a video game or watching a sports on the TV. I can be, you know, crafting something. And I also keep the project that I work on while I'm putting the kids to sleep in that room. And I think that's a totally fine place to keep that as well. Although I suppose in theory maybe that should stay in here and I can just grab it each night. But we're not talking about that. It sits nicely on my bedside table. So one of my targets I talked about last week in my weekly roundup is I want to get rid of that box of neon lights yarn that has been sitting there forever and a day. So I'm focusing on that blanket that was already in progress. So that is not included in WIP Island. WIP Island is that 20-gallon tote. And I opened it today and I said, I'm going to just grab the first thing and that's what we're doing. The first thing on top staring at me was Sophie. I do not feel Sophie is a good choice for the starting project here. Let's be honest, guys. Sophie and I do not have a great track record. So I grabbed the next thing. I thought this is perfect. I have perhaps an even worse track record with this project than I do with Sophie. I say, Erin, what pray tell is that project? This is... Why do I have so much? Oh, it's because it's all of them. Wait a second. There are charts in here. These are some of my charts from the cottagecore mosaic blanket. How did that end up in here? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so the rest is MCal. This is Stephen West's 2022 MCal Twists and Turns. I still haven't finished it. It's beautiful, gorgeous yarn. It's just sitting in here, doing nothing. I don't even know. Why do I have... There's a sewing needle in here. There's a sewing needle with thread attached in here. Why? I have no idea. There's a... Why do I have a... Okay, so that's the waste yarn. Don't pull on that, Erin. Here I am. Oh, gosh. Come on out nicely, please, needles. Please. Oh, goodness. Okay. I stopped mid-row. You guys. What was I thinking? I've literally stopped mid-row. But here we are. This is my Twists and Turns Stephen West MCal from 2022. We're going to finish this bad boy. That's right, we're finishing this. So to refresh our memory, I am using gorgeous yarn that I got on Etsy from a place called Blackbird Sycamore Yarn. And I am using, there's 3 colors. This gorgeous color. Are you certain? This is currently tied on to the project. This one, which I believe was cinnamon. Okay. I've got this red, this kind of maroon red. This is Cleric. And then another colorway is this beautiful kind of, I don't know, it's kind of brown, tan, taupe, and there's a little bit of like orange speckles in it. That one is called Pink Jasper. I have a full hank of it right here. And why do I have this bundle here? What is this? Okay, I remember what this is. Okay, so we got this, that, and now this one's going to tell us the remaining one is, this is Pink Jasper. Where's the other? Where's the other ball band? Here it is. Cinnamon. I was correct. Cinnamon. So, very beautiful. So, this happened to Miss Sharon recently. And I said, oh, I know why I have this extra clump. One of the many things that befell this project, other than me just dropping the ball, it was viciously attacked by a vacuum cleaner. And I believe this was recovered from the vacuum cleaner. Okay, this is clear. This is my ball band. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. I am confused, conflicted, but prepared to tackle this project. We are doing it. This MCAL, which has long been not a mystery, is finally going to be finished. We're doing it. So, if you're curious, I am on Clue 2. That's right. I made it through I'm halfway through Clue 2. Maybe. I am at the end of section 3 in Clue 2. Then I got to pick up and do some cabling. Okay. So, we are on section 3 of Clue 2. And then we have Clue 3 and Clue 4 to finish. If you want to see finished versions of this, I do know Gary from Urban Yarn finished his. I don't know if the Needles at the Ready guys did this one. I don't feel like they did. But maybe they did. I don't know. This has been a long time. Like I said, we're approaching 2025. This was from October 2022. A good long time ago. Good 2 years ago. If you have any clue why I would have had a sewing needle in this bag, please let me know. I have absolutely no clue. I could have injured myself. Okay, but here we go. I am going to do this. So I believe Shannon's plan is to pull out a WIP every week and talk about it. I think what we're going to do is just follow the project of this WIP to completion, and then I'll pick a new one out of the bin. Sophie will have her day. I am hoping that through this process, maybe get this off my plate. I am close to finishing a couple of other big projects. I will be willing to tackle Sophie once I have that Neon Lights yarn out of the way. That's going to clear up a big space for me, and I think I will be mentally prepared to have Sophie out if that box is gone. I've found that to a certain extent, I think a lot of creative people are like this. I know I'm going to wax philosophical here for a little bit. So if you want to go away, have a wonderful day. I feel like to a certain degree, clutter is kind of motivating. It's part of the creative process. But when it becomes too much, it weighs me down. It becomes anxiety inducing. And I kind of shut down a bit in trying to deal with it. So in a way that's a bit how my craft room behind the camera, I've done in front of the camera. I've cleaned up, I've tidied, I've reorganized. I still need to tackle behind the camera. And that, I think, is how that kind of happened. I think that WIP Mountain appeared. I had a lot of yarn purchases that were needing to be put away and stored, and that added to the clutter. And now that I've managed that, and we've got all the boxes in the basement, and we're dealing with the yarn walls, and then we're dealing with pulling things out, I feel much better about that situation. So yeah, I feel like I'm prepared to tackle more in here to get it to a better level. And I think that's probably something a lot of us struggle with as crafters. And especially crafters who pursue more than one craft. I do the knit, I do crochet. You see the wall of fabric behind me. I do sew. I have not been able to sew in a very long time because of the status behind you. That is the table where my sewing machines would be. And so because that table has been occupado, I have not been able to sew in a very long time. So I would like to be able to do that again this year in 2025. So we've talked a lot about some goals here, setting up the idea of what we're going to do on Tackle It Tuesday. We're tackling it. It being everything. Oh, I suppose if we're talking about WIPs, I do have a quilt I've been making for my mother-in-law for a long time. It's based on an idea she saw when they were still living in Arkansas. She wanted this guy made absolutely gorgeous quilts with jean material and then other fabrics. I could not replicate one of those exactly, but in essence they were rag quilts. I can make a rag quilt. So I've collected a lot of like old jeans through thrifting or through, you know, Brian and I have jeans with certain things that have worn out and they're no longer wearable or appropriate for donation. So I've cleaned them, laundered them, cut them up. I have basically all of the pieces, and now I had been piecing together the squares, and then I just need to piece together the quilt. So that might be a WIP you guys see. I may tackle it. Who knows? You might see a bit more sewing. Okay, I am going to stop the blibber blabbering and go start working. Okay, I love you all. I need to put this needle away before I poke myself with it. And I will see you later. Bye!